Hi, I'm Trisha, and welcome to Flew the Coop. My eyes are red because I just got done doing a video, which I'm throwing away. And it wouldn't be the first time that that has happened because it's like therapy. And I did my crying, and I was upset about some people that have hurt me, and I got it out, and it's done. So here I am. It's been almost a month since I was on here last, and I've done quite a bit of stuff, and I thought I would catch you up and talk a little bit about what I've been doing and what I've been, I don't know, it's not really soul searching, but it's coming to terms with some things. In 14 more days, it'll be a year since my husband left. And I know he didn't want to go, and I didn't want him to go, but it is what it is. And I've been trying to find new people to hang with and new people for me to care for and for them to care back. And it's hard. When you get this age, people have already got their good friends. I know I have quite a few. I can't travel with them because they're not into that. And so I'm looking for more a travel buddy. And I think I found a few, believe it or not. I have some good prospects. They've checked off quite a few of my boxes. I met a lady on the way home from my mother-in-law's. I had stopped at the cemetery where my brother-in-law is buried and where my mother-in-law will be buried. And there was a car kind of blocking where I really needed to be because I knew it was at the corner of the church. It was where his spot is. And so I just kind of pulled over and walked. It was a gorgeous day. That was the last day that was really that nice. I mean, it was like just, maybe they call them Indian summers or something. I don't know why that came to my mind. But so, and there was two ladies. One was sitting in her car over on the other side, and then there was one that was around in the middle of the graveyard, and she apparently knew the other one, and they were talking and stuff. And when I was walking over towards where the one was at, because that's where I thought my brother-in-law's grave was, she said, "Oh, can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I'm just looking for my brother-in-law's grave and his name." And I told her his name, and um, she said, "Well, I have seen that somewhere before." She says, "I think it might be down this other way." And I'm like, "No, but I just pretend to be looking down the other way." And her and the other lady are talking, and I get back, and I said, "Well, here it is." And she says, "Oh, that's why I've seen it. It's in front of my husband's gravesite." So we got to talking, and I talked with the other lady that was sitting in her car, and she left, and it was just funny. And I'm not going to go into what the next conversation was, but our conversation just flowed, and we probably talked for a half an hour. And then we left, and I got on the road. And I'd like to say that the people in that part of Kentucky, it's in southern Ohio. I'm going to say southern Ohio too, because if I was right by the river, and all you had to do is cross over and you're in Ohio. So they're very, very welcoming, nice, friendly people. So I got on the road, and away down the road, all that bells started ringing in my SUV. And it's happened before. And the first time I ended up with a alternator. The second time I ended up, they had to replace that alternator because it apparently was a bad one. And I thought, oh no, it's going to do this again. And what happens when that, and it says something about the electrical system or something, and things start shutting down. And my speedometer was going. And I knew I was pretty close to the state rest stop. And I thought, well, I'll get as close as I can. If I have to pull over, I'll pull over. But in this one, you have to get over to the middle lane. Well, there's still only 2 lanes, but you have to get over because it services both sides of the highway. And so I got over, and my car is starting to slow down, but I'm just a few for this. And I turn into the rest stop, and I go to the truck side because I know that I'm going to have to get a tow. And I was leaving room for them to back up to me. So I get there, and it's just a nice day. And I look up to see exactly what town this rest stop is in. I didn't know what town it was. And I do know that on the way home, there are only 2 rest stops, state rest stops on this highway. And I looked to see what city it was in. And I write all that down and all the information. Then I call AAA. And this operator, I don't think we meshed too well. I tell her that I'm on route, and and I name the city at the rest stop, the state rest stop. And she says, well, exactly where are you? And she starts asking me all these questions like, which direction are you traveling? And I says, well, this rest stop, it services both sides of the street. So does the one that's, I don't know, 60 miles up the road. It services both sides too, because this highway goes through farmland, and just, there's nothing around. No stores at this section. You'll go through towns that they have stores along the way, and some maybe truck stops and things like that. And she's telling me, well, go into the store and find out where you're at. And I said, there is no store. There's just restrooms and vending machines. And I said, and there's plenty of people all around, and they say this is the city that we are in, and it's the only rest stop in this city and along this highway, this particular highway. And she says, I'm trying to help you. Don't, you need to calm down. And I'm thinking, I'm really calm because it's such a nice day. I'm not upset. I've been through this drill before, and I know that everything's going to get worked out. So she said, well, I can't help you if you can't tell me where you're at. And I says, I've told you where I'm at. And I repeated, I'm on route in at the Ohio State rest area. And she says, that is not, you're going to need to find out where you're at. You need to get on your phone and you need to look up where you're at. And I says, that's what my phone will tell me. It will tell me what city I'm in and what highway it is off of. And she says, well, I can't help you. You need to call 911. I told her, I says, I'm not going to call 911. There are trucks here. There are plenty of cars. All the spaces are gone almost. There's people out enjoying this nice weather. I'm not in any danger. And she then said, well, I can't help you. I just can't help you. And about the 3rd time that she told me to call 911, I'd had enough, and I did use a bad language. I'm not proud of it, but I said, I'm not calling 911. And after I had used a bad word, she said, well, I'm going to have to get you somebody else. And I said, well, I would appreciate that. So she got somebody else, and it was a very kind and nice man. And I told him the same thing. I had to go through with my membership number and everything else, and told him the same exact thing I had told her. And he said, and I didn't tell him what direction I was going, because like I told the lady, from where I was coming to where I was going, that goes all the way there. Actually, this highway goes clear across Ohio. It's Route 23, and it goes up into Michigan and clear down. I think it might even go clear to Florida. I don't know. I'm not a savvy person when it comes to names of roads and everything. So um, I told him where I was at. He said, well, just a minute, let me find it. And he comes back and he says, the tow truck will be there in 20 minutes. So, and in the meantime, while I was waiting in the tow truck, the train goes across alongside of 23. It's just, I just love the sounds of trains. Maybe I'll put it up here because I did film it. There's all my orders going by. I wasn't excited. I wasn't not calm. I've been at that rest stop a tons of time. It is a place that we stop on the way to my mother-in-law's and on the way home. And there's walking paths that go all the way around. Although I did not go and do that, I would have, but I didn't want to miss my tow. So the tow man got there, and we clashed. We didn't clash. We got along just fine, and he got my car all up on his. I don't even know if they still there. I guess they're a tow truck, but they drive it up on that ramp thing, or if it can't start, then they pull it up on there. But so anyways, the tow guy got there, and he was a really nice guy, and he got me all up on his truck, and I rode the last 70 miles to the mechanics. And he said, when we got there, he says, well, I can't just leave you here, so you need to call somebody to come and get you. And I says, because it was a Saturday, it was beautiful. There was nobody in this whole, it's like there's a couple mechanics in this place, plus storage units and everything else. And there was nobody around, and it was quiet. And I had told him, I says, I can just walk home. There's a path that goes to the neighborhood across the street from where my neighborhood is, and it would be no big deal. Or, but then I said, oh, no, I'll just take my camper home, because my camper was there. And I remembered that I had a hidden key. The transmission has not completely went out in it. And I don't know if I said it on this video yet, or if it was that other video. And that's the trouble. When you make a video and you delete it and you start another one, you might miss things that you think you said and miss things you didn't. But anyways, it's not completely shot. And I'm hoping that maybe I don't need a whole new transmission. So I got in the camper, and I had called the mechanic and told him that I was going to pick it up anyways on that Saturday to take it home to winterize it. Then I got to thinking, he's going to think that I just got this at home to winterize. So I had to write him a big long note to drop off in the drop box with my key, so he didn't think that it was just just left my car there while I got the other one. So anyways, he checked it out, and I had told everybody that I wasn't going to be able to come camping because that's what I was going to take was my SUV. And I had worked and made some improvements. And I don't know if I've showed them to you. And I don't know if I have any pictures or if I have to go out and snap some, because I did unload and I might not be able to get them. But I put a skirt around and I made the bed a platform, because the platform goes on top of a folded down seat. Because I'm not taking the third row seats out because it won't give me any more room. And I like the one seat to sit in. So I had done that as an improvement, and I had put a lace, like I had cut a tablecloth and cut the edge off and then put the lace around the bottom so you couldn't see underneath of this platform. I know, girly. So I had done that, and I had painted that little shelf that I had made in the back that my feet go under. Well, and I put some fatter legs on it. I had a 1x2s on there, just because it was a sample to see if it worked that first time I went. And I put the 2x2s on it. And so it still fits around the other part of the mattress that is my feet. And I kind of reinforced it, and then I painted it and painted some flowers on it. Yeah, girly. After he worked on the van and found out that it was just a loose wire, and he got that all put back together, I was able to get it finished and ready to go to the camping trip. And I went to the camping trip, and I shared with a really nice lady. And these people I had camped, this was my third time camping with these particular women. And I was sharing with one, and we had a good time. I took her and showed her some of the places that my husband and I had went and stuff, and she had not seen those places before. And we enjoyed ourselves, and with the other ladies, we played some games. We brought black shirts, and we put googly eyes all over them. We were going to take a group picture of all of us with these shirts on, but we didn't get to that. It seems like sometimes when you're on these trips, you have plans and you just don't get to everything. The only thing that I had found with the SUV camping is this time I had a little bit more of a problem because it was cold. So I had a heater in there, I had extra blankets, I had coats and other things just for that type of weather, and that moving the extra stuff around, and where I had the heater in the floor, and it was an electric heater. I did not want anything kind of around it. And so for my potty at nighttime, it was taking up a lot of room in front of the seat, the side of the bed. So I really didn't have as much room to get out of the bed, where I sleep with my head up to this way. And usually I would have the spot till you got to the seat, but then with the potty there, then it made it littler. So it was kind of like squishing up, turning around and getting up. And I was actually getting dizzy because then I'd have my head sideways so I wouldn't bump my head on the, and I thought, this is not working. This is not working. And it was cold. One of the ladies did give me some gloves. I hadn't brought any gloves, hadn't thought about it because I'm not a winter person. I kind of hibernate. So, other than that, I don't know if I'm going to want to go to Florida in that or in my camper van. But I did not realize it. And the lady that I was sharing a spot with, we talked about, she would like to go to the Lulu's meetup too when it comes available. And I didn't realize it, but it was already came available and it was filling up fast. So I got, I actually reserved 2 different dates because I don't know for sure which one I will make. And if something happens to my mother-in-law or something, because those things have happened in the past. Because the first Florida trip my husband and I were going to take, a COVID hit. And we got our money back from the house that we had rented and our tickets to Disney and our plane tickets and stuff. And we had a great vacation at Myrtle Beach. And thanks to my friend, and I got to rent out her rental that was right across from the ocean. Thanks, Teresa. Love you. And so I lost my train of thought. So the next time was 2 years ago. And it was going to be a 2-week vacation on our anniversary, our 28th anniversary. And then his mother got sick and we didn't go. So we never made it to Florida. So these are not new glasses. I got these at the same time I got the blue ones. And when I was always used to wearing these darker glasses. And I decided to get those blue ones. And I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like these. And so I went back and got these. They're green or something. I don't know. And I love the blue ones. I don't even wear these because the blue were going to be my extra pair. So anyways, these turn dark in the sun. So the pictures that I'll show you on my trip, I look like I have sunglasses on. And but the blue ones are so scratched up, the lenses are. And the reason I wanted the clear lenses in them is even though, I don't know if you can tell, even though I'm not in the sun, they still seem to be darker. But these work a little better because they're not so scratched up. And it's been over a year, and I usually get new glasses every year. So this was my spare, and I just switched spares out. So that's just in case somebody is thinking that I got new glasses. I'm going to go back and maybe just get new lenses for the other ones or something, because now I don't have that great insurance that my husband had. And I'm finding out where I went to the dentist and that specialist, for that tooth from the last vacation I was on, that it doesn't cover much of anything for the dental neither. But it's cheap. So what else have I done? I've been thinking inside because I let things get to me, and I'll stay awake at night thinking, well, I should have done this. I should have said this. I should have done that. And I'm trying to get over that, because a lot of the things are I'm trying to please a person who is not, I pray for them. That's all I can say about that. But then I always want to fix it. And I guess I'm a people pleaser maybe, and I want to fix it. I can't fix them. I can't. And I've got to quit stressing about it. And finding new friends that you're compatible with is really hard. I have lost quite a few friends that have passed away, and I still have plenty of friends. Um, they don't live here. I have a couple that live here, but I was looking for that same type of friendship as a travel buddy, or maybe to spend time with me or something. And it's just that I'm missing my best friend, Wendell, and I'm never going to be able to replace that friendship. That was a friendship I wanted to spend all my time with him. I didn't want to be away from him. I I just liked being around him. It made me happy. It fulfilled me. It he was he was my man. So that's over. I can't get that back. I will never get that back. And when we meet again, it's not going to be the same. I don't think heaven is like that, because we're not going to be like married, I don't think. I don't really know. Um, it's going to be, heaven is something that we can't even fathom right now. It's just the perfect place. And I'm not in a hurry to go to heaven. I'm not um, wanting to go right now. I am getting to know myself, and I'm getting to grow as a person. And I'm working on it. I'm working on a lot of things, and I am looking forward to many more trips. As long as I'm able to do that, I'm going to do that. And then when I'm not, hopefully I will have a community that gathers around me. I know that sounds weird, but I am going to start going to the community center. I'm going to cut all that out. And if I'm not able to travel, I'm going to be, I think, set here. God has already figured it all out for me, and I don't have to worry. I know that at my age, I've seen it so many times, and I trust. I trust in the Lord, and I know everything's going to be okay. And I'm going to be back on here, and I'm going to talk some more about things that I am discovering about myself. And I don't know what else I might talk about. I still have a video in mind that I really want to do, and it's just a fun video. And I don't know if I will find the time to do it or not. And it's not, if you want to do something, you'll find the time. I want to get all this stuff in order so that it's easier to find my stuff first, and then I'll find the time. Because after a long time of not having things in their place, and a lot of things that have not found a place, uh, they just got to find their place, because it's getting on my nerves. So I don't like them sitting out. And I'm a little bit giggly tonight, and I apologize up front for that. So I'm going to say later, taters. Bye for now. I couldn't wait to kind of try out this system to see if I could cook anything in this SUV. So this is my bed. I just flipped that back, and so I have this solid surface. And I have this new skillet that I had bought, but then the lid broke, or it came broken. And when I picked up the lid, the knob came off. So I was returning it to Amazon. But I thought, I'm going to try it first to see if it really works. And So I'm warming up some taco meat in it, and we will see how that goes. And I got my cutting board here, so I'm gonna commence cutting me up some lettuce, and I'm gonna have a taco salad in my SUV.